Hello again, everybody. Rick with Let's Level Up, and today we're going to be talking about Smash Up's new expansion, Science Fiction Double Feature. Now, if you've looked at our channel before, we've pretty much featured Smash Up every time we get the chance to. We've talked about the other previous expansions, both the obligatory Cthulhu set and Awesome Level 9000, as well as the base game. Now, Smash Up, if you're unfamiliar with it, is a game. It's a really fun kind of hybrid card game. And when I say hybrid, I'm not meaning there's other components. It is a card game, but they call it the shuffle building game of awesomeness. So essentially, we're going to take two different factions and combine them into a 40 card deck. And those factions will either really work well together or not so much. There'll be enemy bases, or rather neutral bases, laid throughout the table where we'll play minions and actions on and attempt to have the highest minion strength. Once the total combined table minion strength is equal to or greater than the base's break value, we distribute points based on our position. It's a very, very easy game to play and one that I highly recommend you get. Now, the Science Fiction Double Feature expansion pack is going to add 4 new factions to the game, and they're pretty neat. Overall, if I had to pick a favorite right now, I'm leaning towards the Shapeshifter. I feel like they can move and work together with just a lot of different combinations, and there's some really neat tricks that can get you and help you get the edge on your opponents. Smash Up's going to play 2 to 4 players. And again, if we're talking about the newness to this, I guess we can go ahead and talk about the other factions. We have Shapeshifters, which again are going to be able to mold and change their minions to kind of adopt the features of other minions that are on the table, which is a really cool ability. There are Spies, which really are heavily featuring the scry mechanic if you're a Magic the Gathering player. It allows you to look at the top cards of your deck and then choose to put them back on the bottom or the top, and you actually get to pick the order of those as well, which is really huge. You get to know what's coming, you got an advantage. The other 2 factions are the Time Travelers, which actually have a lot of really cool actions that let you go back into your discard pile and play things, and actually let you it almost gives you a reset button in the game. And one of the cards specifically, which we'll get to here in a second. The other faction reminds me a lot of a movie I watched when I was a kid called Congo. It's the Cyborg Apes. Now, these apes are obviously have been experimented on by humans, and they've had enough. So they've actually adopted the technology and even expanded it so far so they actually have implants and other big techs. So these are medium-sized minions that actually grow really big due to the actions that you can play on them. Their big thing is that not only do they have really good buffing actions, but you can actually take those actions and put them back into your hand rather than your discard pile, so you're not losing them. I see Cyborg Apes pairing up really, really well with the steampunk heroes from Awesome Level 9000. So you know what? Let's pop this game case open. Let's take a look at all the cards and the new bases that come in Science Fiction Double Feature, and then we'll give you our final thoughts. Alright, so here we have the box for Science Fiction Double Feature. Now, what I like about these Smash Up expansions is that these are actually ready to play for 2 players, which is a great way for you to experience everything that the expansion has in its own before you actually go and start trying to mix it with the other factions. Let's pop it open and take a look. Now, every expansion is going to come with the awesomely written Smash Up rule booklet. And they've actually started including scoring tokens in the recent expansions, which is nice. Now, Smash Up always comes with 2 bases that are unique to each of the factions. So they're going to have 8 bases that are going to come with this faction. Now, our factions are going to include Cyborg Apes, Time Travelers, Spies, and my personal favorite so far, the Shapeshifters. Now, each of these has their own unique properties and is going to bend well with the other factions that are already existing in this game. Let's take a closer look at some of the new bases. Okay, so like with any Smash Up game, they're going to have the printed base value here that you have to break. And again, this is the combined table minion strength on this base. First place is going to get this many points, second place this many points, and the third runner-up this many points. If there is a fourth player here, sorry, you don't get any points. The winner of this base, meaning whoever gets this position, the winner may place his or her actions played on minions here back into his or her hand. This is going to kind of feed back in with the Cyborg Apes main ability. Another 20, this is the Faceless City. This is for 4 points, 2 points, and 1 point. It says once per turn after you play a minion here, search your deck for a copy of that minion, reveal it, and place it into your hand. Finally, shuffle your deck. Next up, we have the Portal Room. This is 231. This is a time traveler's base. This is the winner takes an extra turn after this current turn ends. The Secret Volcano Headquarters. This is very spy heavy. 4, 3, and 2. It says before this base scores, all players reveal the top card from their decks. Play all revealed minions here. Nexus. This is 3, 3, and 2. This is the winner replaces this base with a base of his or her choice from the base discard pile if possible. This is the ISA Swingin' Pad. This is ISI Swingin' Pad. This is 4, 2, and 1. This is the winner may look at the top 3 cards of his or her deck and return them in any order. Next up we have the Vats. This is a 3, 1, and 1. It says you may not play a minion here that has the same name as another minion here. Finally we have the Monkey Lab, which is 4, 2, and 1. It says minions here get +1 power for each action played on them. So a lot of really fun bases that are included in this set. Let's take a look at the Spies now. Alright, so a thing to remember is that each faction within Smash Up comes with 20 cards. So we're going to look at the minions first, here with the Spies. So this is a minion with a power of 2. Its name is the Spy. It is a minion. You can see kind of the artwork here. The logo for the Spies, a nice martini, shaken, not stirred. This ability plays as soon as this minion comes into play. It says look at the top 3 cards of your deck, place them on the top and or bottom of your deck in any order. And there are going to be 4 Spies. The next up is a 3 power operative. This is another minion. And when she comes into play, reveal the top card of each player's deck. Place any of those cards on the bottom of their owner's decks. Return the other cards to the top of their decks. There's going to be 3 operatives. There are going to be 2 copies of the Mole, which is 4. It says ongoing. Before this base scores, you may play in action as a special action. This is a very awesome card. 5. Secret Agent. This is the most powerful minion here. It says ongoing. After another player plays an action, he or she must discard a card. Very, very powerful minion. Okay, let's get into some of the actions now. And again, these are all going to be denoted by the action here. And these are actually really neat because they're all plays on James Bond films. So, for my eyes only, it says look at the top 5 cards of your deck, place them on the top and or bottom of your deck in any order. The next up is the Spy Who Ditched Me. All other players must discard a minion or reveal their hand to show they have no minions. Next up is the Base Is Not Enough. Special. Play before a base scores, choose a minion there of power 4 or less. You control that minion until the end of the turn. Very awesome special action here. Discards are forever. All players reveal cards from their decks until they reveal a minion, and then you discard all revealed cards. Next up we have From O With Love. This is draw 3 cards, discard 2 cards. Next up is the Mind Raker. You play on a base, ongoing. Other players cannot play specials while this base is scoring. Live and Let Chum. Play on it before a base scores. This is a special action. Destroy a minion of power 3 or less there. Permit to Kill. Each other player reveals the top 2 cards of his or her deck and discards any minions revealed. Return the other cards on the top of their deck in any order. And that's it for the Spies. Next up, we're going to look at the Cyborg Apes. Alright, so minions first. We have Furious George. He is a 2-power minion. Ongoing, he has +1 power for each action you play on him. And there are 4 copies of him. Next up, we have Baboom. A minion has a talent, and talents can be played once per turn per minion with a talent. It says play an action on this minion as an extra action. 3 copies of Baboom. Next up, we have 2 copies of Clyde 2.0. This is ongoing. If your actions played on minions here go to the discard pile, you may place them in your hand instead. Very, very powerful. Next up, we have the 5 Cyberback. This is as an ongoing ability. It says you may play actions onto this minion from your discard pile instead of from your hand. Okay, now some of the actions. We've got Juiced Up. Play on a minion. Ongoing, this minion has +2 power for each action on it, including this one. Cyber Revolution. There are 2 copies of this. It says play on a minion. Ongoing, this minion has +3 power. We have Shielding. It says play on a minion. Ongoing, this minion and other actions on it are not affected by players' actions. Missing Uplink. He's adorable. Play on your minion. Ongoing, draw an additional card at the end of your turn. Next up, Monkey See, Monkey Do. Reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Place any number of actions revealed into your hand. Shuffle the rest into your deck. Next up is Going Bananas. Choose a base. Destroy other players' actions played on that base and on minions there. The Flying Monkey. Play on a minion. Special. After this base scores, you may move this minion to another base instead of the discard pile, then destroy this action. And the final card of the Cyborg Apes is Monkey on Your Back. It says play on your minion. Talent. Destroy another player's minion here of power 4 or less. Place this card at the bottom of your deck. Okay, the first minion we're going to look at for the Time Travelers is the Jumper. It's a 2-power minion. Ongoing, when this minion goes into the discard pile from play, you may place it back into your hand. There are 4 copies of him. Then we've got the Time Raider. She's a 3. She has a talent that says place a card from your discard pile back on the bottom of your deck. 3 copies of her. Next up, we've got the Repeater Perfect. He's a 4. You place an action from your discard pile on the top of your deck. 2 of him. Then we've got the Doctor, Dr. Wen. It says you may return another of your minions in play to your hand. You may play it again as an extra minion. Now to the actions. There are 2 copies of Into the Time Slip. Return a card in play to its owner's hand. And we've got 2 copies of Do-Over. It says return your minion from a base to your hand, and you may play it again as if it is an extra minion. It's Astounding. Play an action from your discard pile as an extra action. Wormhole. After this base scores, shuffle your minions there into your deck instead of placing them into your discard pile. Time is Fleeting. Play after a base scores. If there is a base in the discard pile, add a base of your choice from the discard pile instead of drawing a new base from the base deck. Time Walk. Action. You may play an extra minion and an extra to action this turn. Draw 2 cards. Place this card on the bottom of your deck instead of your discard pile. 1.21 gigawatts. Shuffle all actions or all minions from your discard pile into your deck. Stasis Field. Play on a base. Ongoing, this base cannot score. Destroy the action at the start of this turn. And that's it. Now finally, we're going to take a look at the shapeshifters. Alright, the first minion we're going to take a look at is a 0 power Mimic. And Mimic is awesome because it has the ongoing ability. This minion's power is equal to the highest power printed on a minion card in play. This card is awesome. There are 3 of them. 2 cost, Copycat. Choose another player's minion in play. This card has the same ability as that minion until the end of this turn. Pretty neat. 4 of them. Next up we have the Gelf. The Gelf has a talent that says search your deck for a non-Gelf minion of power 4 or less. Shuffle this minion into your deck and play that minion here as an extra action. Sorry, shuffle this minion. And finally, we've got the Doppelganger. The Doppelganger's special ability says when this minion goes into the discard pile from a base, search your deck for a minion and play it as an extra minion. Then shuffle your deck. We have 2 copies of Transmogrify here. It says destroy one of your minions, search your deck for a minion with the same or lower power, and play it as an extra minion. Then shuffle your deck. Then there's 2 copies of Genetic Shift. It says each of your minions gets +1 power until the end of the turn, or and one of your minions gets +3 power until the end of your turn, your choice. Then we've got Back to the Future. Destroy a minion. That minion's owner may immediately play an extra minion. Then we've got Shell Game. Play on a minion. Ongoing, this minion cannot be destroyed. Splice is nice. Play on a minion. Ongoing, this minion has +2 power. Mitosis, I really like this one. Choose your minion in play. Play a copy of that card. Sorry, choose your minion in play. Play a copy of that card from your hand as an extra minion. Really? Destroy one of your minions. Play an extra minion from your discard pile with the same or lower power. And finally, we have the cellular bonding. Goodness, that was hard to read. I thought I was going to say bonoing. It's just they're big fans of U2 here. No, it says bonding. Action. It says play on a minion. Choose an action on a minion. Ongoing, this card has the abilities of the chosen action. And that's going to do it here for the science fiction double feature. This is a really strong set, really fun set to play. Again, if you're a fan of Smash Up, follow us for the afterthoughts, and we'll let you know what we think. So science fiction double feature is actually a really cool expansion pack to Smash Up. If you're a fan of Smash Up, with this thing only cost, and Smash Up itself is what, $25, I think. This expansion costs about $17. It is very cool. It gives you 4 new factions, so it helps you increase the replayability of what it already is an awesome game, and it adds a lot of cool variables to an existing. If you have the other 2 expansions, you're looking at what is it, 8 + 8, 16. You're got 20 different factions to be able to combine and make stuff work with. Very neat. Overall, I played this with my wife earlier today. She wasn't a big fan of the time travelers, but she was a big fan of the Cyborg Apes, and I was a huge fan of both the Skinwalkers, or the Shapeshifters rather, and the Spies. I thought both of those factions actually played really well together, and I could especially see the Shapeshifters being paired up well with a lot of the other factions in the previous games. So overall, I think if you're a Smash Up fan, this is definitely one worth considering. Aldrich Entertainment Group doesn't make bad games, I think, at the end of the day. All the components are really well done. The artwork is amazing. The pop culture reference in this game are second to none. And it's more Smash Up, and at the end of the day, you can't beat that. So if you found this video helpful, please give us a thumbs up. leave a like here on the channel. Give us a comment to see what you'd like to see us play next or review next. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Most importantly, game on.